Hi, my name is Paul Easther. Like you, I have an interest in learning Blender. Why wouldn't we after seeing these images created by Blender artisans? I've tried and failed several times trying to teach myself Blender. Tutorials and manuals are written by experts. They often don't see it from a novice's point of view. They sometimes miss explaining a simple keystroke or such like, assuming you should know that. They overload your brain with several ways to do the same thing often. This causes frustration. You start Googling for answers, get led up other paths, and before you know it, crash and burn. In this series of lessons, I am starting out a complete novice. I will pick up the pieces left out, trying to keep each lesson short and concise. Hopefully you can follow along and feel empowered that you learnt without hiccups and actually retained what the lesson was all about. Don't push forward to the next lesson until you can replicate the previous lesson's exercises without prompting. Otherwise, frustration brought about by forgotten skills will cause you anxiety. Let's push on with lesson 1, moving, rotating and scaling an object. Open Blender. Take a few moments to look around. You see a grey cube object located in the centre of a 3D viewport. The cube has a red and green XY axis running through its dead centre. This cube can be likened to a building block. Select it by left mouse button clicking it. The perimeter turns yellow. Click anywhere outside the cube to deselect it. Try that a few times. Hold down the middle mouse wheel and move your mouse around. This is how you change your view. Rotate the middle mouse wheel to zoom in and out. You might notice in the bottom left-hand corner of the viewport, text displays showing mouse buttons being used. This is an add-on to help you guys, so don't worry if you can't see it on your screen. Up here in the top right corner of the viewport is a little pull tab. Select that with your mouse pointer, holding down the left mouse button and pull out the transform menu. Here the specs on the viewport and cube object's location are revealed. You will see that every setting is 0 or scaled 1, but the dimensions are all 2 meters. What does this tell us? In a nutshell, the grey cube object is 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters, located centrally along each axis at 0 meters from centre and unrotated in any direction. If you want to change the units of measurement from metric to imperial, select the Scene Properties icon located here. Then, under Unit System, make any changes. This grey tube is a pretty big box. If I want to keep using the metric system, but wanting to create something smaller, I could go down to length in the units drop-down and maybe change the units to centimetres or millimetres. I'll change to millimetres. Now, if you look at the transform drop-down, you'll see the units have changed. Now, I come from a CNC background, so dimensions have to be very exact. Let's say I want to make a shoebox out of this cube. To be exact, all I need to do is click next to X, Y or Z in the Dimensions tab of the transformed drop-down and change from 2000 millimeters cubed to my design dimensions. My box needs to be 330 millimeters long by 255 millimeters wide by 127 millimeters high. Now, as you look at the viewport, our large cube is seriously smaller and a long way away. Hold down the middle mouse button to pan and rotate the middle mouse button to zoom in. Another way to get up close and personal with your new shoebox is to select it with the left mouse button click on the grey box. The outline turns yellow. Now hit the period point symbol key located below 3 in the numbers keypad of your keyboard. Now let's rotate our shoebox 90 degrees on the X plane. Type in 90 as an X value within the rotation values of the transform drop-down. Now let's restore the box to how it was by entering 0 instead of 90. Let's rotate the shoebox 120 degrees on the Y plane. Therefore, type 120 into the Y value. See how it moved? Now restore back to default by replacing 120 with 0. So far you've learned how to precisely size an object and rotate it to a desired angle. You could have any combination of angles. Let's try making X equal to 90, Y equal to 45 and Z equal 30. Now reset all values to 0 by hovering your mouse over each value and hitting the backspace button. Finally, using the same methods, let's move our shoebox. We'll move it away 200 millimeters to the left 300 millimeters and raise it 100 millimeters. Therefore, insert X equal to minus 200, Y equal to minus 300 and Z equal to 100. Take note of the use of positive and negative values to move one way or the other. There you have it. You should now be able to size a box shape, rotate and position it precisely. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to freehand all these moves. Now please set yourself some random box dimensions, positions relative to 0, 0, 0 and rotation angles. Leave your computer for a while or until the next day and then retry. Keep practicing until faultless. This newly found skill should stay with you now.